Good evening and welcome to today's news bulletin. Here are the headlines of the day. Meghalaya Cabinet recommends expansion of district councils. Proposal to be sent to the centre. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls for cooperation between India and Central Asia. Assam Meghalaya CMs to meet tomorrow to resolve pending border issues. And Meghalaya government to adhere to High Court's order on Harijan colony issue. The Meghalaya Cabinet has recommended expanding the number of seats in district councils. Chief Minister Conrad Sangma said that Garo Hills and Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council will have a maximum of 40 members, while the Jaintia Hills Council will have 32. He added that the number of nominated members will be a maximum of 4 in GHADC and KHADC, while it will be 2 in JHADC. As for village councils, the council will be elected and the Rangba Shnongs, Sardars and Nokmas will be the de facto chairman. Sangma said that the proposals will be sent to the union government.
And a discussion with all different stakeholders, including the district councils themselves. And these suggestions have come from the district councils, and accordingly the state government has proposed this to the Government of India, and these proposals will go in the next few days.
In his opening remarks at the first India-Central Asia Summit being held virtually, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said Central Asia is central to India's vision of an integrated and stable extended neighbourhood. The Prime Minister highlighted that there are 3 main objectives of today's summit, and the first is to make it clear that mutual cooperation between India and Central Asia is essential for regional security and prosperity. The second objective of the summit is to give a structure to India-Central Asia cooperation. Another objective is to create an ambitious roadmap for India-Central Asia cooperation. Presidents of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan participated in the summit.
Central to India's vision of an integrated and stable extended neighborhood. दूसरा उद्देश्य हमारे सहयोग को एक प्रभावी स्ट्रक्चर देना है। इससे विभिन्न स्तरों पर और विभिन्न स्टेक होल्डर्स के बीच रेगुलर इंटरेक्शन का एक ढांचा स्थापित होगा।
The chief ministers of Assam and Meghalaya will meet tomorrow evening to resolve some of the pending border issues between both states. It may be mentioned that Assam and Meghalaya are quite close to reaching an agreement in 6 of the identified disputed areas. The chief minister is quite optimistic that after tomorrow's meeting, both the states will finally reach an agreement on 6 disputed areas.
Come to almost 98% agreement on all the areas, 6 areas. Another 2% to 3% is left, which we are hopeful that in the next sitting we should be able to come to a final understanding, because we expect that MHA will be and the Honorable Home Minister will be calling us for a joint meeting in the next few days. So we would like to close all these areas of differences that are there in the first 6 areas before that meeting is called.
Urban Affairs Minister Sneobalang Dhar said the government will adhere to the Meghalaya High Court's order in the issue of relocating the residents of the Harijan colony. He said this in response to an allegation that the government was violating the High Court's order. The residents of the colony claim that the High Court has sought to maintain the status quo on the issue, while the government says the relocation of the staff of the Shillong Municipal Board from Harijan Colony at the Them Yo Maulong will begin after the civic body shifts its office temporarily to Lompangat Cottage at Bishop Cotton Road. The Har said the matter is under process and the employees of other departments will be shifted from the colony after the SMB staff.
Nowhere and they return to first we stop from there and then steady and it happened to follow all the other stuff from the other part. Okay.
Meghalaya reported 361 fresh COVID cases with 348 new recoveries in the last 24 hours. The state also reported 6 COVID-related deaths in the last 24 hours, taking the number of fatalities to 1,515. The total number of active cases in the state is now at 2,422, while the total number of recovery has reached 86,265. Meanwhile, over 164 crore 44 lakh COVID-19 vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. India's active COVID-19 caseload currently stands at over 21 lakh 5,000. The recovery rate is currently at 93.6%. In a shocking incident, a youth from Ribhoi district identified as Ravi Sunar committed suicide in Civil Hospital Shillong after he, along with 2 others, were detained by the police for alleged drug smuggling. 2 other persons detained by the police for alleged drug smuggling have been identified as Baya Kmen Lang Tioso and Aman Lang Nongsit and are still under treatment at Civil Hospital Shillong. Local youngsters of Downgate Nongpo apprehended these 3 youths on January 26 for alleged smuggling of drugs and were later referred to Civil Hospital Shillong. Ribhoi Superintendent of Police Giri Prasad confirmed the incident following verification with the competent authorities of Civil Hospital Shillong. Now for the weather report. The maximum temperature recorded in the city was 13.1 degrees Celsius and the minimum temperature was 2.4 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity in the morning was 63%, while it was 81% in the evening. And the forecast says light rain is very likely to occur at isolated places. This is a reminder that our news bulletin is also available live on our YouTube channel. In addition to watching on television, viewers may visit the DD News Shillong YouTube channel to tune in to our daily bulletin. And before we wind up, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Meghalaya Cabinet recommends expansion of district councils, proposal to be sent to the centre. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls for cooperation between India and Central Asia. Assam Meghalaya CMs to meet tomorrow to resolve pending border issues. And Meghalaya government to adhere to High Court's order on Harijan Colony issue. And with that, we've come to the end of today's edition of the News Bulletin. Do join us back tomorrow at the same time. Good night.